little Nazi species on this earth is continuing to censor me. I'm watching with my other accounts. I see. And hell, even on my one account, sometimes my own account doesn't show up for me. So, yeah, I see what's happening. So they've been in my life since a child, raping me and separating me from other races, people I want to be around who don't look like deformed human rats. And so we caught them in 2020 when we were specifically setting up traps for them to do that. Well, I was telling people they were doing it. They would come and, and it'd just be like, see, they're right here. Like they were explaining to the human now that this was happening. Now, was that human scum like working with the trash demon race? That's an interesting thing. Because that's pretty ballsy to come out in front of the humans when I'm explaining to them there's a demon species upon this planet enslaving humanity, and they're going to be by any second here to try to prevent me from talking to you about them. And they come up to me and they talk to me as if the human is irrelevant, can't understand a word it says, or as if the little terror human there already knew that it was involved in terrorism and a constant life of trying to kill God, apparently, from what they're telling me. So, yeah, okay, so we need to mirror reflect this stuff back. Okay, so they've been separating me from people I want to be around my whole life, preventing me from being around people who aren't them, because they're trying to force me to be around them. That's how Weinstein and pals do it. That's the only way they're gonna get someone to have sex with them is to force them to do it. They're definitely not gonna get it on looks usually. Even their little plastic surgery stuff is failing, making them look real deformed and stuff. And obviously the camera filters make people look real stupid as well. Not quite as stupid as when you get plastic surgery and you look like a frickin' giant duck had sex with dinosaur or something. But yeah, we gotta like make sure that these people, this was cute. Okay, so when 2020 happened, the humans had tried to kill me and enslave me and disable me, cripple me. And then magically, they're all doing it to each other. And none of them got it. None of them got the message there. The message was, I'm calling out the devil people. Everyone is supposed to see the devil people. And they're supposed to stop working for them and deal with them. Did anyone do that? Doesn't look like it. In fact, I got a shock in 2020 because it showed about 90% of the planet is on board with the terrorist Nazi demon race species. They probably think they're aliens. They probably think space is real, even though their brains are about half a fucking can of tuna and shit. There's no way the game's actually making them create something. It's like when I create movies and music. The actors think they made that. The musicians think they made that, but I just created. Like when I create a human, it thinks its parents made it, and I just asked for it a day ago, an hour ago. So these are the real realities we're dealing with on Earth, and I think we've had the Christians come up to me and try to manipulate me and like make me worship Jeffrey Epstein and stuff like as God. Yet their people are coming to me and crying and shaking and telling me I'm God when they're all coming out on TV and being exposed as people terrorizing and kidnapping and force injecting people with poisons and stuff like that. As COVID clearly showed, if there's any beings out here are living, that This is happening upon the planet, and it has been for a long time. We just made them come out. We forced it. Somehow I can speak the words, and they come out and they do it. Little did I know. I thought we'd be able to end it right there because I see it's the game, and I see the pattern I've known my whole time here. And then once I started seeing the little things happen, I was like, oh. Although I thought everyone else might have been involved in it. I thought I was using like their magic. I was like, yeah, let's try using their magic. But then looking back after that stuff happened, I realized like, oh, this has been happening a long time. Like COVID was just like 9/11. I was attacked and had a nation of devils try to kill me, enslave me, and then magically their brains are distracted by something else trying to kill each other after that. It's cute. It's cute, but I'm like really not very fond of the game because the humans are allowing this little devil species to separate me from people I want to be around. And well, I mean the humans, I guess a lot of them are just lesser Koopa minions, like they're the Goombas, and they're not quite Koopa level talent. But we have hopes there's some sort of Mushroom Kingdom people out there. But in all reality, the spells that my enemies work for me definitely works. So I can't say just because someone did something once or twice that we have plenty of proof that some people who did things once or twice looked exactly Koopa. In fact, that's the problem here is my life is pretty Koopa. And I wouldn't quite choose that, especially when it came to females and stuff. I would never. Um, I mean, once I realized what was going on, that's like the only time I was like, oh, no, never. So, I mean, before they didn't sin, like, they didn't have to create, like, the most highest professional ester and stuff to try to breed with me, or make sure I don't breed with anyone else, more like, or talk to anyone else. But yeah, I think we gotta deal with these people. What type of human filth on this planet is letting these people go around in silence? That people who are actually trying to do something of value separate us from people we want to be around and go worship them. I mean, literally, they're using this Christ insanity stuff to like somehow the game has programmed them with my image, so they know I'm like the only person out here who knows what's going on and talks against these people, and so it's kind of hard to write it off as them doing anything but using my image. No one else is saying anything. A human never taught me anything except for to worship these damn devils in the name of the Christ. Worship the devils. That's what they're doing too. The devils are coming up to me like, you gotta worship us. Here's a Bible. And it's like, what do you mean worship you? Who are you? Who are these people we're talking about here? Oh, wait a minute. That's odd. You know about the special overprivileged Nazi species upon the planet. That's weird. No one in my life ever knew about the overprivileged Nazis until 2020, when I said everyone should be shown everything, and we get to sort out who's who. So then people started talking about that. Now a couple of them were in my life before that, like trying to act like they're my friends and they're gonna help me. I mean, literally, like I said, they've been raping me since I'm a child. They're my friends, I'm sure of that. Separating me from other people I actually want to be around. Making sure I'm always involved in some of their activities. Working for Jeffrey Epstein, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. That started when I was like too young to remember when it started. Yeah, so they want to like censor me. I think, we should bring their hell fantasy to life. And in fact, considering it seems to be a fake game world that's really rail based, and I can't do things like run for president. Technically, that's part of the storyline. I run for president, and they're hiding me from the world. They're coming and calling me God while they're hiding me and they're censoring me and stuff. They got a lot of facts there. Either I am God, or they have a lot of shapeshifters out there convincing me of this. But it's like at the rate at which I can summon things, I realize it's a fake world. It's a digital world because some of the stuff happens too fast, and you know, and a lot of the other people think the humans already exist. Like the humans already think these creatures I summon exist, and it's like it couldn't have existed because I just summoned them. I just summoned an exact clone of someone else, and here they are. When I summon the clones, they come and let me know they're there too. People don't even talk to me too. I don't talk to people at all. In fact, yeah, people do talk to me. Other than that, I would never have said one word to a human in my entire life. I don't think so. It also like sets a weird precedence for what type of evil scumbags come into my life. Pushy motherfuckers who don't take no for an answer and don't stay away from people who are clearly trying to avoid them. And this is exactly what we have. Exactly what we have. People who don't take child rapists, who don't take no for an answer. Racial supremacists, religious, racial organization, Nazis, whatever you want to call them. There's only one group allowed to have Nazis or religions. It's all the same. Nazis. So you call them whatever. I like to call them demons, except for that's their word, and that's going to attract some really bad people who worship them, child molesters who worship the child molesting form of that cult, who is trying to manipulate me into worshiping them. Well, they call me God. Can you imagine what goes on in the mind of an NPC here, where they have to come and call me God and cry that they're dying here and there because I said it's time, or they're getting called out and they can't even control their own brains, and they come on Fauci butt comes on TV like, it's Fauci, I'm an evil demon. It's like, you can't even control yourself, bro. But so yeah, that makes sense. But what also adds up is that they're trying to terrorize me into worshiping them through Christianity, which is they're Nazi. Before they invented the Nazis, they had to shed their little baby snake skins over and over. Every 70 years, they have new baby snake skin they have to shed because people catch on and don't like baby snakes running around the city. And that's why they're always having to go somewhere else. That's why Zelensky's about gone and stuff. That's why Putin had to get rid of the oligarchs and stuff. That's why they gotta censor USA and me. That's why they can't allow to see. Imagine they're a God race protected by God. Coming to call me God. They don't do that. They point out that the world is doing what I say. Like I made the videos, right? Yeah. I said, well, if I'm God, how many times did I do these videos? I'm like, well, if I'm God, well, everyone needs to die for what they've been doing to me. And then 2 days later, what happens? It couldn't be one of the wars going on right now, could it? Definitely not. Why would I say that? Obviously, that's not in reality. I couldn't possibly say everyone should be forced to wear a mask in my video in 2019 and then everyone get forced to wear a mask after they kidnap me and try to drug me and paralyze me, and then they start kidnapping each other and drugging and trying to kill and paralyze themselves and stuff. That sounds crazy, Downey. The odd thing is it all happened. So That's like really the only saving grace I have upon this planet. Cause I'm definitely alone here, and I definitely hate being on this planet. And I've hated being here since the day I came here. I knew right away. I knew as a toddler, with the lack of ability to crawl, that the people around me were some sort of demonic infested people. I knew that. I mean, they just can't stop lying and deceiving. And then I realized, like, they're telling me things like, not everyone's intelligent, so you got to treat them well. And I realized, like, they're not intelligent because they're not real. They're bots being created. And and the game explains to me, you can't play chess against a computer who is better at chess than you. So that's why we do it. Like, as if I needed that explanation, it still gives me the explanation when I ask for it, when I ask for things. It's like when I ask for everyone to be shown who the terrorist Nazi demons are. And then, I mean, we're still, that whole asking everyone to see everything, it was shown in 2020, but it's still being shown. Right now, you're being shown that the terrorist Nazi demons are Zelensky. It's still, the whole thing, everything asked for, uh, it's like saying there's going to be a plague had to do about with 1% of everything asked for that year. And they were already coming with their plague anyways every 4 years, so that was just standardized for it to happen every election cycle. Probably going to get a new one this one. I tried the last few years to bring it back and it didn't, so obviously I'm not that much in control. It's a fake storyline. You gotta follow it. Nah. And clearly, what the fucking humans are like some mindless Nazi demons. It's not even reality. People don't act like that. Living beings don't act like that. They don't go around worshiping Fauci and Jeffrey Epstein and the Pope and Howard Stern. I love Jeffrey Epstein. No, that's not real, dude. No one with a thought would ever be worshiping people like that and stuff. But yet, I was born into a world where the people, are they inventing these religions that try to enslave God? Okay, so they know to use my picture in their cult, in their Nazi cults. Okay? And they're entirely up in my life. Most likely, the most common theme is trying to drug me. And we proved in 2020 that they're trying to separate me from other humans and kill me, put poisons in my drinks and stuff. So, somehow these bots in the game knew what I was going to look like when I came here. And my best guess is they're trying to use these Nazi religions to enslave God himself. Like they knew there's a God guy, and they know this guy. It's like they've written in their own books, this guy is going to get rid of them. Every time he comes around, he gets rid of them. And so that lines up perfectly with why they would do that. But why do they know what I look like? Maybe it's because why would I want to look like anything else? That'd be stupid. But maybe I always choose the same form when I come here. I doubt it. I would never come back to this world. I mean, the story is literally I don't come back for a long time because I don't want to be here. I'm going to have to be forced to come back to deal with the scumbag Nazi terrorists, devil worshipping, God wannabe people. Literally, the story's written that way, ain't it, bro? Ain't the story written that the people who claim that they're worshiping God are the fucking devils when I come back? But I live through it. It's not a little story I'm repeating. It's the damn terrorist human sons of bitches fucking trying to kill me and drug me and keep me away from other people my whole life. Trying to keep me down and run me over and lie to me constantly while they're telling me their little terrorist devil religious stories and shit that they're using to convince me I should worship them while they're calling me God. But they're not calling me God half the time. Right? The ones who call me God are like the strangers. Well, I guess the one dude was not very pale skinned. Hey, but they'd be like, "Oh, you're controlling the world." They'd be like shaking and crying and stuff because if they're correct about what they fucking just repeated that I said behind closed doors is happening in the world, which they were, fucking, then that means their fucking time is about over. And that was the entire point to having me learn that stuff. I'm definitely not going to be called father to any human that is scum. I can tell you that. I'm the type of parent, I was raised this way too. I'm the type of parent who's going to take you to the woodshed and I don't think my parents cared if I like could crawl out of the woodshed to the hospital and get healed or something, right? I don't think anyone cared. That was kind of it, but it's like seriously, if I'm the father of a bunch of bots who are terrorist devils, literally, and I don't think it's quite that easy because when I summon human clones, they're like 90%, so it's 10% failure, it's 10% something I didn't ask for. I think it's an AI randomly generating. Like I say words, and then the computer generates a human or a movie or a story and stuff based upon the words I say. And when it generates music and movies, it generates like 1,000 people, or takes some that it's already generated before, and tells them in their computer script that they made that. So it's like, damn, it's not really like I'm the father of these people. I mean, if I ask for something that's a 90% failure, or 90% success rate, and I literally am not birthing a child, and it's just a random AI, a random dice roll in a game, then I'm not its father. I mean, is the computer its father? Most likely. Is its parents its father? If it was 40 years, if it was created 40 years after it was born, its parents? Definitely not, if that's exactly what's happening. We know for sure that's a fact. If I'm summoning a 40-year-old, that it wasn't born to parents 40 years ago. It wasn't born to other people who the game had to generate as supporting characters 40 years ago. We know that much. It's just more of the argument these days about who's really in control and why there's such a failure rate when I summon and create. And maybe the story already explains us that there's some other thing. There's an AI, an all-seeing eye, a devil god upon this planet that I'm in combat with. And isn't that odd? Because that story says that, and that's what's real. Like a lot of this stuff is what's really happening. And the little AI bots talk about the little satanic one-eye god, the little New World Order Illuminati AI god they worship. The thing that's fucking probably overseeing most of the system and shit. It's really hard to sort it out, because it's like my enemies are slaves for me, and I prefer them to be slaves versus someone. I don't even think there are good people. Everyone I've known long enough proved themselves to be related to black papacy and got some real fucking dog in the fight at trying to kill a person that some of them even claim God. Like, can you imagine someone I've known like decades calling me God one day after they like ran me over for a long time too. It's like, what the fuck is in your non-brain and shit? Like, I don't even like that word God because it's like, I think it's just a player in a game. Obviously, you know, with the power to control most things, but we need to deal with these fuckers and the humans supporting them who are trying to censor and kill God and rape God his entire life. So, yeah, there's a lot of promising things happening in the world. There's COVID. You know, looking back, one time they tried to kill me. There's 9/11 after that, and then they tried to kill me, and then there's COVID after that, and then they just tried to kill me again. But like COVID's not even over. There's still, it's like Russia is still paying the West back for their dipshit fucking attempts. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure that's why some of this shit's happening. But that was something I said when I was 4 years old was going to happen, so that really did take like 30 to 40 years to fucking start coming into the world. But it's like, I think it was just because I knew the storyline before it started and shit. I think that was pretty simple, but it's like COVID allowed that to happen, right? COVID destroyed the West, and as far as I can see, when I went to other nations, they didn't shut down for COVID. Now there's a sign that they had a COVID sign here and there, but they weren't shut down. The West shut down their economy, and now the damn Nazi demons are getting fucking pulverized. And but they're still out here. They just tried to kill me again, like a couple of weeks ago. You see what I'm saying? Like when I did the COVID thing, I asked for everything to be shown and people to choose their sides and everyone to be shown who everyone else really is. And that did work. They're still trying to lie and hide. But the last thing here, I think the last domino to fall is their little Nazi religions that they're trying to use to enslave the person that they're calling God. And of course, the entire religion there is about God is a little girl who walks around and gets raped by people like them who are the special chosen Nazis of the world. I mean, you can't make up how all this stuff is exactly in line with exactly what I'm being shown, and then the humans are like empty fucking shells who they'll send to walk by me and answer questions that I ask. Just walk outside when I ask a question, and humans will walk right by and answer it and shit. Something like that happens all the time, especially in 2020 when I tried to do that all the time. It fucking kind of pisses me off because it's just like, damn, dude, they're like empty bots. They're not even there, are they? Like, so I never want to go around them. I never knew they were empty bots, but it's like I definitely don't now because it's like, what's the point? I'm not even going to want to have sex with a bot. There's no point. If there's no sex, there's no point to human interaction. So I'm not going to be like, ooh, follow me, bots. Ooh, I mean, I can't. They're following the devil. You follow the fucking devil. The devil's fucking got his COVID shots for you. The devil's got them fucking, them bombs being dropped on Ukraine for you. And follow the devil. Take your fucking vaccines. Don't fucking follow me. I'm not going to ask people like that who are being devils, worshiping some devil shit that's trying to run their fucking mouths. I went to church one time, too, recently, and like the whole sermon was about worshiping them. And like, meanwhile, the people at the service like kept were like looking at me like, oh my God, thank you for coming and all this stuff. It's like, whoa, who am I? I've never seen you before. It's like, but damn, dude, that sermon sounded very hateful towards me. So it's a weird thing now, and you could tell the sermon was a halfling. The minister was a halfling, and the people act respectful towards me are not halflings, generally, and not that I can tell. Usually it's pretty obvious. Usually they tell me. Usually they start telling me to worship them. And it's like, no. We're not going to worship the people who have been caught separating me from other humans and women I want to be around. We can only assume there's a reason why I don't have anyone in my life. And we know some of those times exactly what was happening. Not 100%. We know sometimes it's physical, sexual assault, kidnapping me to get me away from females I'm with, coming in and threatening to kill me again after I get out of ICU when they do try to kill me. And I just don't die from it. Sew me back together. Yeah. Now we're starting to see the 24/7 life I've been living, huh? Yeah. People trying to kill me to keep me with their terrorist Nazi organization. And again, even coming back trying to kill me again when I find someone else to be around who's not looking like them, acting like them. There we are. And so we're going to have to, I think they know that my abilities, that God's ability is to create the world with words. And that's why they think they can censor me. Not that, you guys didn't hear the COVID video. I didn't post a COVID video. There's no video. I posted the video saying everyone should be forced to wear a mask. But I didn't post a video of any of that other stuff. Everyone should get free money, have some time to off work, have some time to think about what they've been doing. Notice that they're poisoning people with forced injections and stuff like that, and stop doing it. We didn't post a video of that, so it doesn't matter if they censor me or not. But they're trying to manipulate me to worship them, and each time they do that, it's gonna go. I mean, they're getting bombed right now in like every nation they're in, except for USA and Australia. But they're trying to arm those nations heavily because I think they're worried. Because they're already losing Khazaria in Israel. And that like makes me real pissed off at the Christians. If there are any Christians who are not of the alien terror demon species from the heavens, God's fallen angels, let's call them that, aliens, crashed their UFOs here on purpose, probably ended the first humans to kill them off and try to replace them. Yeah. Not a big fan, especially because they have been trying to use that to enslave me, and it's like, yeah. The cool thing is the game doesn't allow them to actually kill me and enslave me, but I can do it to them. They're dying. I'm not dead. So, there's always hope. I'm supposed to be like the king of hope, but I'm not going to be the king of being manipulated into worshiping some terrorist devil Nazi groups who've been enslaving me and the human race my whole life. So, that's that. We're not going to worship devils. We're not going to say the little words. I think that's part of their plan. They think having me repeat words, like they're always trying to get me to, like, worship them. Say the words. Like, dude, say the words with me. Say you love us and we're God's special and we own you in the whole world. And it's like, and in the name of the chosen Nazis Worship us forever. Like, have you ever noticed that? That's what do humans even know what a Christian is, or do they just come and attack me personally? That's all they do is they go on the streets and they try to get you to like, chant their little devil propaganda like it's sorcery to them. And I think they're trying to find the person who's actually inventing the world with their words. And they seem to have found him. And they're trying to get me to say, love the terrorist, devil, demon, Nazis. They're so good. I love it. Ooh, they're gonna enslave and kill me and my family if I doesn't worship them and give them all my monies. No, bro. It ain't happening that way. I'm then telling you, they're literally the real devils on the planet. Trying to in their story, I'm God, and they're trying to convince me to worship them. Mm-mm. I'm going to keep saying what I keep saying. Those nations getting bombed are the targets I told you the past 2 decades are going to be, well, I guess it's only been like a decade and a half, are the first places that got to go. So, I mean, it's part of the story. It's all written. If you can read or something, it's already written. You just have to also know geography and whatever. It's happening, and it's beautiful. It's always some sort of hope, but what form of hope do you have against some terrorist Nazi devils who are trying to get God to say they worship the terrorist Nazi devils? Because God's word will make that happen. And the humans will suffer greatly if we allow the terrorist Nazi Koopa Kingdom to continue to do that. What they've been doing. There's no point to even be here. I could have just let them continue to terrorize the planet and enslave it. There's no point to coming to this stupid game. So it really only adds up, and they're feeble ass attempts, and they'd be all scared when they be talking. Oh, you gotta worship us. It's like, whoa, bro, you're like this Christian psychopath. Like, what's wrong with you? Is this how you talk to everyone, or are you just the game making you magically appear out of nowhere to speak with God or something? So yeah, we're not gonna fall for this. They're falling. Israel and Ukraine is falling. That's beautiful. And the oligarchs in Russia have fallen. And USA looks like it's falling. Well, that's their plan to do that. If they have a house and they want to set it on fire, it's still their stuff. Maybe they want their insurance payment, but you can still laugh as they burn down their own house. Especially considering that everyone should be watching since the COVID events, since 2020. Everyone should be watching the Faucis and what they're up to, and the Trumps and the Bidens, the Joes, and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, let's deal with let's get this over with. This game is shitty, dude. This game is extremely I'm tired of these fucking human scumbags fucking terrorizing me and shit and allowing this little devil species to do it. The fuck is wrong with these pieces of shit? Who the fuck's... What type of trash parents do these people have that have children like that and allow them to continue to exist if they act that way? That's a horrible parenting strategy to have a child and allow it to continue if it's going to go around and try to enslave God. I mean, I'd be mad if my child was just trash. But apparently enslaving God is what USA does. It's their whole plan for when someone comes up against fucking the terror empire. They do it to everyone else.